Okay, I want to talk a little bit about safety in conversation and safety in relationships. We want to have this unconditional love where we can hold each other well, and you want people who are talking to you feel safe. But unfortunately, in this world, we have a lot of yuck that keeps us from making other people feel safe emotionally, relationally, and mentally. I want my children to be safe. I don't want them to run into the road. I don't want them to go to parties where they could, take drugs or be exposed to things that are hard. I don't want them to be walking down the street in the middle of the night and get hurt. Physical safety is a big deal, but I think it is equally important for us to be thinking about emotional safety. So here's how we create safety. If you want to be a person who's safe, you do not want to judge and sort of accuse with your language. You don't want to take something that someone says and kind of jab it back at them or kind of poke. Instead, you want to use your perspective and active listening. I hear you saying, this is what you think, this is what you feel, is that right? That creates safety. If we don't want to judge, we don't want to create barriers, we don't want to be extreme, and we don't want to turn and make it about us. So stay open, be curious. What does that feel like? What does that look like? Say someone comes to you and says, I'm going to change jobs. I'm going to go do this. And you think that's a ridiculous idea. That's really risky. Instead of showing with your face or your tone that you think that that's a really irresponsible move to make, tell them, thank you for sharing that with me. What brought you to that conclusion? A question that starts with what led you to that? What contributed to that conclusion? Being curious. These types of responses where you go, tell me more, are gold. And that's what actually makes someone feel like they are safe with you, because you're not critiquing and judging them, but instead you're saying, tell me more about that. So if you take one phrase away from this video, let it be, tell me more, or what about that is exciting to you? Because these are the ways that you let a person talk and you make them feel like they can say whatever they want to you and you're going to be there for it. Now, this doesn't mean that you're forever silent on what you think or feel. After you've heard a little bit more, after you understand a little bit more where they are coming from or how they got to something or what they're feeling, instead of telling them that that's wrong and that's not what they experienced, but to hold that with them, this can lead to a place where in that conversation or maybe a subsequent conversation, you might say, have some thoughts about that. Would you like to hear what I am thinking? Or you could, so asking permission is huge. Another would be to be willing to say, one of the things I've experienced is this can be a really hard thing. What do you think about that? So, for example, selling a house in this market can be challenging, I've heard. What do you think about that? So you can say the thing that you're concerned about, but then frame it into a what question. I am concerned about this because that could lead to other medical problems. What do you think? What do you think about that? This is a great way to say what you think, but then be a safe person still by asking them what they think. Again, using that what question. All right, I hope that this helps you create safety in your relationships because you want people to want to talk to you, and that's some of how to do it. So I hope it goes well. Let me know.